You are here because you know something is wrong. You have felt it for many, many years. You vibrate at a very high frequency. And you've realized that the frequency that you hold has become a threat to them. You're tired of the lies. You're tired of the misinformation. You are here because you're seeking truth, because you understand. As a storm of unrestrained madness approaches. Welcome to Covert Radio.
They're funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, whose only goal is to vaccinate every human on the planet. So, let's tune into some chatter. I saw we got Rand Men in the house. Covert Radio's in the house. Welcome, welcome. We got Covert Radio in the house. Call of Duty in the house. Much appreciated, guys. Tonight and the past. I really do appreciate it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Covert Radio. It is late April the 13th, 2022. And I got amazing information for you here. You know, I'm surprised nobody has talked about this. I truly am surprised, unless they didn't really look around like Covert Radio does. You guys know that there was a mass shooting on the New York subway system? Did you also know that the shooter is in the sector? He was a frequent viewer of Hassan Campbell. He was a frequent viewer of Monty Woodgrain. He was a frequent viewer of the House of Conscience and Sadnetta. And he even gives a shout out to the sector in a few of his videos, actually. You know, that's why you never know who is watching your video. You never know who's in the chat room with you. You never know who's reading your comments. You never know. You never know. And it turned out to be a psycho killer. And, you know, I know this is going to sound cool. You're sure Covert Radio. Yeah. Listen, I remember seeing this dude's avatar. Now, it could have been at a Hassan Campbell show. It could have been at a Monty Woodgrain live stream. It could have been around the sector somewhere. It could have been anybody's show. Because I remember the logo, because I designed a logo years ago for a company, and I used a rooster and all this stuff. And, you know, for whatever reason, I remembered it. It stuck out to me. I'm a very visual person. And, again, you never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. That's like, and I don't want to get off subject here, but there's a comedian, Owen Benjamin. I used to watch him a while back till I figured out he's basically a white version of Tommy Sotomayor. He thinks average Joe Schmo Americans and Mary Sue America is his piggy bank, his personal piggy bank. He'll lie. He'll mislead. I was going to cover him, but he's very Sue happy. And, and he has some money. He was on a sitcom or something. He's a comedian. He's been banned off every platform. But anyway, he used to say something all the time in his live streams. And he'd say, you guys would be blown away if you really knew who was in the chat with you. No, I can't say anything. Listen, just understand it's basically a Hollywood A-lister. You guys, your minds would be blown if you knew who was in the chat. Like, he'd say this all the time. He's like, and he'd talk about Vince Vaughn all the time and stuff. And, you never know who's in the chat. And again, if you look at the screen, this is Frank R. James, and he shot about 40 people, 30 or 40 people on the subway yesterday, the 12th. This article is from today, April the 13th. And, again, because, in my opinion, it's a black shooter. This shooter is, very critical of other black people. He's very critical of Jews. He's very critical of white people. Just your all around, basically, very hateful guy. And a lot of his diatribe and rants on YouTube have already been scrubbed, but I was able to still, I personally was able to watch a couple of them way early in the morning. YouTube has since scrubbed them or whatever, some of the videos, which I'm going to touch on this too, how this all happens so fast. And again, in my mind, it's like, oh, well, geez, Biden just talked about, guns again yesterday, and boom, there is now a mass shooting. Just like Biden a couple months ago or whatever was coming to, I think it was Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but he was like, oh, yeah, we're going to talk about the infrastructure bill. Well, prior to him coming, hours before he came to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, there was an entire bridge collapse. An entire bridge collapse with like a bus on it and cars. Hours before he came. And he just so happened to be talking about that exact topic. Same thing here. Biden talks about mass shootings. Same thing here. Then there's a mass shooting. And automatically, because of history, because of the false flags or whatever, and acts of war and things like that, you're almost an idiot if you don't question the narrative and the coincidence of the narrative. You're an idiot if you don't question it. So me, automatically, I'm like, normally when they use the three, Frank R. James, when they do that, like Lee Harvey Oswald, you know what I mean? Like, it's always the three names, Frank R. James. And then just the coincidental timing of it is very weird. And if we're going to go through this, because again, there's a lot of similarities here to what's coming in America, what they're pushing forward with surveillance, mass surveillance, digital security. But again, I wanted to tie that in and show you guys that this dude was one of us. He could have listened to Covert Radio. He could have commented on my videos. I've made videos about Monty. I've made videos about Hassan Campbell. Hassan has commented on my videos. Monty Woodgrain has commented. So, it's a small world. And again, I'm going to show you where he kind of gives a little shout out to the black sector, but we're just going to go over a few articles here. And, again, if this guy was white and this had something to do with racism against black people, there would be satellite trucks stationed all through New York City. They'd be doing interviews, victim interviews. They'd have people, reporters at the hospitals where all these 30-some people, or 29, 30, 33 people, where they've all 33, where they've all been hurt, 33 people. 33, I think, is the number, isn't it? So, when you hear things like that too, it's a little odd. You know what I'm saying? That's a favorite number for some people. And let's see here. So, but yeah, this guy, if he was white and this was against a minority or, somebody, an immigrant, a poor immigrant, everybody would have heard about this. And just to show you what I'm talking about here, if you take a look at Yahoo, nothing. There's no mention of this whatsoever. There's Johnny Depp and this girl. They're in court. Their court started yesterday or today or whatever. Amy Schumer, why Secret Service reached out for her. Then we got HGTV star declares herself a cannabis connoisseur, smoke the poison, and the weaponized weed, which is, from personal experience and family members close to me, it's causing irreversible schizophrenia and brain damage. So keep smoking the poison that they're giving you. This weed is almost like LSD that you can buy in the edibles and all this stuff. So you don't realize that because you're high all the time. And you've probably smoked weed for 10 or 20 years. So, your tolerance is so high. But I assure you, if you'd quit smoking for about 3 months and then go back to it, you would be floored at how powerful this is. I have 2 family members right now that are like basically, my opinion, they're in a lot of trouble because of weed. Their days, their mood, their everything, their relationships, it's all revolving around weed. And in the licks of violence is becoming more prevalent. When they don't have weed, it's watch out. Watch out. They get weed and everything's great. Hey, wah, da. They run out of weed. Watch out. It's my medicine. Okay. Unbelievable. Emotional train wrecks. And it's sad because this is weaponized weed. It's a weaponized drug. It's way worse than anything you can get on the street, in my opinion. The stuff that they're selling at these stores, at the dispensaries or whatever, it's just unbelievable how powerful it is. But then you have HGTV, of course. You got to get all the soccer moms. They're wedging them away from pills because fentanyl's killing too many people. So now they moved them all over from the opiate pills over to the soccer mom blunts. You know what I mean? So listen, everywhere and I don't want to get off track, but I literally, I can't go anywhere without smelling weed. In my house, outside of my house, at bingo, at the store, at this Walmart, it don't matter. Everywhere I go, I smell weed. It's just unbelievable. Actress asked why she wasn't skinny as a vegan. Baldwin hits back at critics over face-tight procedure. Gilbert Gottfried died. That's a shame. But nothing about Frank R. James. Nothing. Again, if he was white and there was a minority killed, it would be all over the news. So here's the title of this in the Rolling Stones today. They made me more dangerous than anyone could ever fucking imagine. Frank R. James named as a suspect. Now, see, this was earlier today. They didn't catch him yet. After this article was published, he actually called Crime Stoppers from a McDonald's or something, and then he tried to leave once police was on their way. We'll cover that real quick. But he was named as a suspect in New York City's subway shooting that left an online trail of hate. Now, here's a question I have for you guys. And we're gonna do a little discovery here. Mind you, he is a suspect at this point of publication. He was just a suspect. This is a prior mugshot. This is, I guess, from one of his YouTube videos, and we'll see what the caption is. This image provided by the New York City Police Department shows Frank R. James, who has been identified by police as the renter of a U-Haul van possibly connected to the Brooklyn subway shooting in New York on Tuesday, April the 12th. So obviously that's a U-Haul. Looks like he's in a U-Haul. Where was this camera at? Was he, and we're going to get into this. I want to show you guys something. This is why, again, I'm thinking, this is a little bit too convenient for agenda purposes. So is this a selfie? This image on the right, was this a camera on the rear view mirror of the truck? Trucks like this don't require rear view mirrors because you can't see out of the back of the U-Haul. I've never been in a U-Haul or box truck that has a rear view mirror. But obviously, he's either taking a selfie or this is from U-Haul, which doesn't surprise me. Because I remember when OnStar came out, I freaked out. I would literally, like, if we would have a conversation about something, I would stop and point at the OnStar. Now, we're so, desensitized. We're so trained, this is all behavioral modification. The loss of our rights, the loss of our privacy, being recorded, cameras in your face 24/7. Now digital money is on the way very soon when they want to shut your chip off, when you're out of compliance with the party, when you're out of compliance with the Marxist communist, when you've made a comment with your real ID because there's no more troll accounts on the internet come 2030. Yeah. We've all been desensitized. Just like OnStar. When it first came out, I would not talk about certain things in the vehicle. Now, you totally forget it's even there, right? Racist, anti-Semitic, unhinged. Let's go through a couple things in this article. The suspect, again, he wasn't arrested at this point, in Tuesday's shooting on the New York City subway, is a prolific user of social media, regularly uploading lengthy, often racist diatribes to both YouTube and Facebook, in which he addresses a range of topics from the state of race relations in the United States to the policies of New York City Mayor Eric Adams, according to videos reviewed by Rolling Stone. After being named a person of interest Tuesday evening, Adams said Frank R. James, 62, was now considered a suspect in the shooting, which took place in Brooklyn during morning rush hour aboard a Manhattan-bound N train between 59th and 36th Street around 8:30 a.m. Adams gave a series of interviews Wednesday morning, April the 13th, during which he said he was confident James would be arrested soon. He also offered an update on 4 people who were injured during the attack, saying they were still hospitalized. We're going to catch him. We're going to catch this person, and we're going to bring him to justice and hold him responsible for this horrific act, Adams said on CNN. One of the photos of James released by NYPD was taken from a recently uploaded YouTube video titled Stop One Complete, which was posted. Now, here we go. We're going to show you that this guy was part of the sector, if his channel's still available. The YouTube video titled was Stop One Complete, which was posted to a channel called Prophet of Truth 88, a Facebook page under the name of Prophet of Doom 008, contains videos similar to those posted to the Prophet of Truth 88 YouTube channel, some of which feature an individual sporting identical clothing worn in the YouTube videos, and also includes a playlist titled Prophet of Truth 88. Now, let's take a look at something here. Here's Prophet of Truth. Look at the background. That's very interesting. You guys see that? Yeah. Okay. So too late. Is that, but see, here's his avatar. I remember the rooster, and I know I've seen this guy. I know I've seen him around. So here's his YouTube channel. He has 4,000 subs. There's some shorts that he's taken. Let's see here. Now, that's the homepage. Now, if you go into his videos, you can see they're 45 minutes, 50 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes, sensible violence. What a day. That's disturbing. This one was 2 weeks ago. He chimed in on the code of the ghetto for the Will Smith, Chris Rock situation. Why we are dying again, an hour-long diatribe about, I guess, black on black violence. And he said he's born in an insane asylum. And, this is true throughout a lot of his videos. He talks about being in the system, being mentally insane. He's supposed to be in therapy, on medication, all this stuff. Here, this is 3 weeks ago. I am the prophet of doom. So here's the video they were talking about. Can you guys see that here? Stop one complete. So I'm not sure if this is going to play because I've kept this open. They may have scrubbed it. Yep, they scrubbed it. I knew it. See, this is how I know. I know. So I've had these pages up for hours because I knew that they were going to scrub this shit. I knew it. So here we go. The Russians are coming. This was 3 weeks ago. I don't even know. See, now look, there's still videos trying to load. They may have taken his whole page down because these videos are, I don't know if you can see the load bar down there. So the most I can look at right here is a month ago. And, these are all pretty long videos, you know what I mean? But he, God only knows when he changed this background image to say too late. He's already snapped. But here's what I really wanted to show you guys here. Take a look at this. And this is going to show you, we all knew this guy. If you're in the sector, you're listening to my voice right now, we all knew him. Here's some of his subs right here. So we're going to go down through. Okay. Oh, there's the House of Conscience. Can you guys see that? Let me see here real quick. Yeah, right here. There's Sonetta. There's the House of Conscience. He was a sub. These are all his channels that he's subbed to. Okay, who else? Let's see here. Russell Jones. Afro-Marxist. I've seen her around. Let's see here. And there may be people here that you guys know because I'm not deeply into this sector that much anymore. But there are some people here that I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Here's Hassan Campbell. Real Topics with Hassan Campbell. He listened to Hassan. Let's see here. Who else? MJD Productions looks familiar to me. Okay. We're going down through. Anybody you guys know? Because again, you guys, I'm not, I'm not that deep in that much anymore. It's just my algorithm. Oh, there's Monty Woodgrain right here. There he is. There's Monty. So he listened to Monty. He listened to Hassan. He listened to Afro-Marxist. There's more. Let's see here. There's, let's see here. Queen's Flip. This is funny. British Path. I love this channel. You also see it's a rooster. But British Path is it's a media licensing company, and they have old videos of stuff from like the 1920s and 30s, and it's awesome. They have a lot of old stuff that they license out. Oh, here's King Kong Consciousness. So, because really when I started looking at his channel, I wanted to see, guess who? Two people. I wanted to see Timmy Tammy Slammy Sotomayor picky up corn chips with me bum bum. I wanted to see Timmy, Tammy, Simmy, Slammy. I wanted to see him on here, but I didn't. And I also wanted to see Tariq Nasheed. I wanted to see him on here. But guess what? I didn't. Because both of them have blood on their hands. This is nothing new. It's happened before. And I showed you guys years ago, the one Tommy, the old man that went, he was a young kid and he killed an old man. He stabbed him again in New York City. And Tommy's all proud, pointing, see, he was subbed to me. See. That video is on Covert Radio. So those are the two people. Here's Kevin Samuels. We all know who that is. Let's see here. Who else? There's one that's very surprising. I mean, he's subbed a lot. I'm subbed to the exact same people. Monty, Sonetta, House of Conscious. I'm subbed to British Path. Hassan Campbell. And this one surprised me, though. Where's it at? It's coming up. Got to be there's the T. Let's see here. The Black Authority. It's hard for me to stomach this guy, but I've listened to him, and I found his channel, and I found him actually through Maurice Delk. So there's Willie D Live. We all know who these people are. There's House of Conscious TV. But one was really, really surprising to me. Where are they at? Let's see here. Okay. Tasha K. We all know who Tasha K is. And let's see here. Scrolling down through, there's SNL, Saturday Night Live. Again, same. Everything I've mentioned, except maybe one or two, I'm already subbed to, which is weird. And we're getting to the end. Where is Lenon? Lenon Honor, right here. He also watched Lenon Honor. So again, this is how close to home this guy is. We've been around him. All of us, all of you hearing my voice, we've all been around this guy. And here he's enacted out one of the deadliest, really. I mean, well, not deadliest, but mass shootings. This is in the history books forever. This guy lost his mind and shot up 30-some people. But we'll go down through here. So there's his YouTube channel. Lenon Honor, Hassan Campbell, Monty Woodgrain, Sonetta, Tasha K. Who else? You guys probably seen people here, Here's his videos. I can't click on any of them. They probably already scrubbed his channel. And the reason we can even see this is because I've saved them for hours because I knew I wanted to cover this for you guys. Because nobody is. Again, if he was white and the victim was minority, this would be on every channel on the planet. So if we go down through here, that talks about his YouTube channels, his YouTube videos. Although the man in the videos uploaded to both YouTube and Facebook accounts never identified himself by name, he bears a strong resemblance to photos of James distributed by authorities. Now, this is where it gets a little odd, okay? Because there is a weird surveillance capability that I don't think either they've made public yet or they've unleashed onto America yet officially. I think this is going on because every city has cameras. And see, around here, when they were putting cameras in, they said, well, they don't really record video. They record audio. And what they do is they're listening for gunshots. And then, depending on how the monitors, which are cameras, picks up the gunshots, the information is automatically sent to police, and they can triangulate roughly where the gun was shot from. So years ago, that's how they started warming people and desensitizing people around here to all the cameras going up. So, but again, he's just a suspect right now. How did they get these two pictures? How did they land on this guy? Because if you look at the actual pictures from the surveillance video that they had from the subway, he had a mask. You can't tell who it is. He bears a strong resemblance. Well, let's see here. This is what's coming, guys, to America. And it's probably already here, but they have not really unleashed it yet. How China uses facial recognition to control human behavior. Now, you have to understand something. There right now currently are 1.4 billion people in China. Right now, the most recent statistic, there are 415.8 million cameras in China. Listen to what I'm telling you. There are 1.4 billion people in China. There are 415.8 million cameras. And if you do the math, that averages out to be one camera for every 3.37 people in China. So they have one surveillance camera for every 3.5 people. And this is where the technology is. This is an older article, about a year or two old. Everything is identified. Everything. Cars, SUVs, titles, who these faces are, the body type, and I can't read Chinese, but there's their name. There's their this. There's their that. That's probably their social credit score. Here's their timestamps, right? And this is one system. China holds the world record right now for facial and biometric detection patents in the world. They lead the entire world in face recognition technology patents and biometric patents. Facial recognition supporters in the U.S. often argue that the surveillance technology is reserved for the greatest risks. To help, now this is how they're always going to sell it. This is how they're always going to continue to chip away at our rights and our freedoms and our privacy. To help deal with violent crimes, terrorist threats, and human trafficking. And while it's still often used for petty crimes like shoplifting, stealing $12 worth of goods, or selling $50 worth of drugs, its use in the U.S. still looks tame compared with how widely deployed facial recognition has been in China. China's facial recognition system logs nearly every single citizen in the country with a vast network of cameras across the country. A database leak in 2019 gave a glimpse of how pervasive China's surveillance tools are, with more than 6.8 million records from a single day taken from cameras positioned around hotels, parks, tourism spots, and mosques, logging details on people as young as 9 years old. Well, geez, what was authorized for children 5 to 10? And then there's talk of certain, we'll save that for Rumble, okay? Yeah, so we'll save that for Rumble. But yeah, that would make sense if there's a biometric tracker somehow embedded, or maybe wearable tech. Maybe it's just your phone, who knows? It's coming. It's probably already here. This is what's scary here. And this should give you an idea of what's coming to America. But it's probably already here. Like I said, they just haven't officially rolled it out yet. But if you look at this guy and how they were able to still, he's just named as a suspect. And I'm going to show you the original footage from the subway. You would never in a million years, be out of millions and millions and millions of people in New York, you would never be able to identify this guy. It had to be biometric. It had to be either augmented or it had to be some sort of a biometric marker or artificially intelligent face recognition system that was able to get law enforcement an idea who actually did this. There's no way. There's no way. And I'll show you guys. But if we go back here, China uses facial recognition to profile Uyghur, however you want to say it, individuals, classify them on the basis of their ethnicity, and single them out for tracking, mistreatment, and detention. A bipartisan group of 17 senators said in a letter to Secretary of State Mike Pompeo on March the 11th. 3/11. And these technologies are deployed in service of a dystopian vision for technology governance. You know, technocracy, something Covert Radio has been talking about for 5 years. The communistic technocracy that's being controlled by Google and Facebook and Meta and Twitter and, all these big brother, silencing free speech, silencing your rights, silencing your ability to communicate. If you don't say what they want you to say, if they don't like what you're saying, they just shut you up. They delete you. They ban you. We're not getting into that. But anyway, and these technologies are deployed in the service of a dystopian vision for technology governance that harnesses the economic benefits of the internet in the absence of political freedom, and sees technology companies as instruments of states of power. Really? Oh, really? China's aggressive development and use of facial recognition offers a window into how a technology that can be both benign and beneficial, think your iPhone's Face ID, can also be twisted to enable a crackdown on actions that the average person may not even consider a crime. Chinese officials have used surveillance tools to publicly shame people wearing pajamas in public because it's called uncivilized behavior. I'll link this article if you want to read down through it. But yeah, I just wanted to show you. There's tons of these articles out there. The Chinese facial recognition, this startup can identify a person in seconds. This was from 2019. China plans to be the global leader in artificial intelligence by 2030, a market where the facial recognition piece alone is expected to garner almost $10 billion by this year, 2022. China's facial recognition database includes nearly every one of China's 1.4 billion citizens. Shanghai-based Yitu Technology has gained wide recognition for its facial scan platform that can identify a person from a database of at least 2 billion people in a matter of seconds. 2 billion people in a matter of seconds. And it's all AI. There's your unique code, your 1845. That's linked to your database, holding hands with Jim Woo, and who his kids are. Those kids his. Is that his niece, nephew, kids? What is he doing? What's in that bag? What did they buy? Run his debit. Like everything is now being, data is the new gold rush. Everything in this image is controlled by AI. They're going to know exactly what credit cards you're carrying, what debit cards you're carrying, how much money you have, what you just purchased. It's all going to be fed into the central system, who those kids are, what the pedometers are reading, what your geolocation has been registered throughout the day. Everything is being tracked. Everything. And, well, geez, you guys want that, don't you? Because without this awesome face recognition technology, we would have never been able to get Frank R. James. Right? We'd have never been able to get him. Down back to this article really quickly here. Although a man in the videos uploaded to both YouTube and Facebook accounts never identified himself by name, he bears a strong resemblance to photos of James distributed by authorities. Again, how did they get those pictures? Don't know. NYPD Commissioner Kenshin Sewell stated Mayor Adams' security detail has been bolstered in the light of the videos, thus indirectly confirming the link between James and the disturbing social media post. In his videos, which number in the hundreds and feature titles such as "Why We Need More Racial Profiling," "Should the Black Woman Be Forcibly Sterilized?" "To Kill or Not to Kill," James often rails against numerous racial and ethnic groups, including whites, blacks, Jews, and Latinos. He also compares people of color to a bunch of turds in a toilet, waiting to be flushed down the drain by society. And he implies that a race war between whites and blacks is imminent. In one video, he calls September 11th, 2001, the most beautiful day in the history of this country. White people and black people should not have any contact with each other, he says, on a March 23rd, 323, on a March 23rd video titled "Born in an Insane Asylum." Their anger is building up. Nothing can happen here differently than what happened over in Europe with the Jews. I want you to believe that that's possible. In a March 2nd video named "Told You So," James uses news segment on recent subway attacks as a segue into an attack on Mayor Adams' policies against crime and homelessness, seemingly implying that his struggles are a direct result of the failures of the New York City social services. Geez, that reminds you of what else? The movie Joker, right? See, there was several people that said this movie's intended to trigger nutcases. And everything that I've just read is essentially exactly what's happened in Joker. Social services, it failed him. He's psychotic. They keep shuffling his medication. He's downtrodden. He can't get any respect. He gets beat up, by a bunch of kids. Garbage is piling up everywhere. So here we go. This is art imitating life, or life imitating art. Right? These are and again, I would not believe this is like, and still nobody, listen, I'm not getting in. All I'm telling you is this: it's very, very odd and coincidentally timed, and the numbers, and I'll show you the 33. Yeah, okay, whatever. But the fact that Monty, come on, Hassan Campbell, and he hates black women and he hates black people, but wasn't subscribed to Tommy, wasn't subscribed to Tariq Nasheed. You know what I mean? It's just odd. Everything about this is odd. These are the people that was supposed to be helping me. They made me worse, he says, gesturing to a computer screen open to a photo file named Them Hose, H-O-S-E, which appears to display headshots of employees of New Jersey's Bridgeway Behavioral Health Services, an organization James references in numerous videos, saying they made me fucking worse. They made me more dangerous than I could ever, than anyone could ever fucking imagine. These are the people that Eric Adams wants to send out to help the homeless, and whatever the case may be, it ain't gonna happen. James then goes on to describe the individuals as Adams' cavalry before launching into a homophobic and anti-Semitic screed against the South Bronx Mental Health Council and Albert Einstein College of Medicine. A bunch of fucking predators, a bunch of deviants, a bunch of psychopaths, sociopathic fucking bitches, he says. They're going to help you, Eric. In the same video, James mocks the mayor's subway safety plan, rolled out earlier this year, going so far as to suggest he could easily commit a crime in a subway station without being caught. And he did. He can't stop no fucking crime in no subways. He may slow it down, but he ain't stopping shit, he laughs, adding that the large number of entry and exit points from the subway stations would make apprehending criminals nearly impossible. With this program in place, with all these police, I'd still get off. I know I could get off because they can't be everywhere. Oh, geez, if we had cameras, though, right? Because they can't be everywhere. Those who go on to commit crimes, like shooting, that means you have to have police in every station, and that's not possible. If you guys want me to go on, I will. I mean, this is we're almost done. Let me just read a little bit until it gets super boring. Among the many topics James tackles in his rambling, slur-laden videos in his belief that Black Americans have allowed themselves to be Europeanized by whites, he occasionally flip-flops between admiration and hatred for other Black Americans, often espousing Black nationalist ideals and calling for the creation of a Black ethno-state, before immediately disparaging educated Blacks and prominent Black women such as Vice President Kamala Harris and newly confirmed Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, who couldn't tell a senator what a woman was, okay? Now she's on the Supreme Court. Okay. If they tried to exterminate us, I would not be mad for one fucking bit. He says of white people, they can't live with each other, but they're going to live with your black ass, ? You're half monkey cursed by God. Black funkin' all right, I don't want to get into all this. One of James' most egregiously racist videos is They Hate Jew, a convoluted semi-autobiographical tirade uploaded to Facebook in late 2017. Again, how did these people in hours of publishing, and they still don't know 100% that this was the shooter, but yet they had time to scour his Facebook. They had time to scour his YouTube. They had time to go back 3, 4, 5 years and watch videos. And you saw most of his videos are half hour to an hour and a half long. So who went back and viewed 400 or 500 videos since, 2016, 2017? Again, another red flag for me. It doesn't make sense at all. I'm not going to get into this, but, if you guys want to read it. Oh, wait a minute. James' consistent use of the same usernames results in an online footprint. See what I mean? That leads to several more YouTube accounts, one of which, okay, WFJFU Radio contains content. I'm going to have to see if this is still up. Let's do this live now. Let's see here. Did they scrub this one too? Oh, no. Okay. Welcoming you to WFJFU. You know, again, 47 minutes, 40, that's weird. 47, 11. You know, these are, that's weird. 36, 47. Let's see, videos. He has 78 subs. Okay. Let's see what channels. You know, here we go again. Here's some of his subs here. Anybody we know. David Carroll. Looking. Power 106. There's Hotep. TMZ. Okay, let's go. Just looking down through, seeing if there's anybody we know. Oh, well, looky here. Well. Covert Radio, you were right. You were right, buddy. Looky, there's Timmy. There's Timmy right there. There's Uncle Ruckus right there next to Timmy almost. Wow. I knew it. Look, another Sotomayor Classics. Oh, my God. Oh, this is sickening. Sansaray. See what I mean? How close has this guy been to you? How close has he been to all of us? There's Sansaray. Tommy Sotomayor. And not too many other people that he subbed to. But definitely Timmy. Wow. I knew it. So here, that content dates back as early as 2002. And there's another account containing videos over a decade old featuring a man wearing the exact same shirt worn by James in Born in an Insane Asylum clip from just a month ago. Let's see here if they're going to link to that other channel or what channel this is. Okay, so yeah, this is another channel. Out of Gas 88. There's 226 subs. And yes, this 9/11 and the oil peak was also on it. Only 4 likes here. Nobody's really commenting. Let's see here. Out of Gas. 13 years ago, 13 years ago, 14 years ago. Wow. So let's see who's he subbed to. Was he a sodomite way back then too? Let's see. There's David Carroll again. Eminem. Let's see. Going down through. I don't know if Timmy was around back then. But we could see if Sergeant Willie Pete was, because that's who Timmy ripped off for that style of content. So let's see here. Mark Morrison. Looking. You guys look too. My eyes are tired. Let's see here. Basement Boys. Yeah, no. Looking down through. Lovey 2000. Yeah, none of this looks familiar at all to me. I mean, these might be old school channels. You know what I mean? With a channel that old, like, you know, look, there's Lil Wayne, so you know it's old. Okay. So maybe I won't go down through this because, I mean, this could be pages and pages. Let's see here. Oh, no. Oh, no. Here we go. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, if this is 13, 14 years old, 12, 15 years old or whatever, like, probably a lot of these channels don't even exist anymore. There's Red Pill, 3,000 subs. Xavier Dunson? That sounds familiar. Let's see here. Going down through. Is that? No, geez, OPs. Come on. RT. Going down through. I'm not going to keep going. Maybe a couple more. BillyMean.com. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, these might be super old channels. Have been around for a super long time. I don't see anybody current, you know what I mean, that's nobody to speak of here. So maybe I'll look at this in my spare time. No, we're at the end. I can't scroll anymore. So yeah. And here we go. So how James managed to slip under the radar for so long, despite repeatedly making violent threats and spreading hate speech through some of the most heavily moderated social media. Well, he's black. That's why. See, this is again the same argument that I've been making for 5 or 6 years. How somebody like Sotomayor can use YouTube to run fraudulent scams and also use YouTube as a voice box so he can call for the death of black women, literally saying he wants to be the reason black women are burned in the ovens of Auschwitz, while monetized. And what? You can't believe how this guy was able to slip under the radar? Get out of here. Get out of here. If he was white, he'd be a terrorist. He'd be a domestic, Trump-loving terrorist is exactly what would happen. And it'd probably be on the FBI, most watch list. And who knows? But since he's black, it's a whole different thing. We've proven this time and time and time and time and time and time again. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there aren't crazy white people, crazy Chinese people, crazy Mexicans or whatever that are out there. Again, this is the same conversation we've had before. Show me the white Sotomayor. Show me the Latin Sotomayor. Show me the Asian Sotomayor. They don't exist. So to gauge that level of hate speech against anybody else is impossible because they don't really exist. So how could you not see that it's absolute hate speech? How James managed to slip under the radar for so long despite repeatedly making violent threats and spreading hate speech through some of the most heavily moderated social media platforms remains a mystery. Yet, as of early Wednesday morning, James still has not been identified, which was earlier today, as the prime suspect in the subway shooting. However, his final rage-filled upload, an April 11th clip called Domesticated Averages, serves as an eerie precursor to Tuesday's violence, revealing the mindset of a mentally anguished hate-monger at his breaking point. Here it is. I've been through a lot of shit where I can say I wanted to kill people. I wanted to watch people die right in front of my fucking face immediately, he says. But I thought about that fact. I thought about the fact that, hey, man, I don't want to go to fucking prison. I don't want to go to prison. Fuck that. So I had to absorb the bullshit. Even though it was building up inside me, what could I do? Not much. Updated at 9:08. Let's see here. He is considered a suspect, person of interest. Again, they still didn't even know that he was, but they had all this information. They were ready. They watched all these videos and they still didn't even know that he was the guy, but they had everything ready. That doesn't sound weird to you? We got a lot more on this. I didn't want to make this long. We're rated about an hour. There's already a Wikipedia page too. The 2022 New York City subway attack. On the morning of April 12th, 2022, a mass shooting occurred. And they talk about the northbound N train. 62-year-old Frank R. James was arrested as the suspect. Now, let's see. Where's the numbers at? 36th Street. The attacker fired at least 33 shots before the gun jammed. Wow. Yeah, I think we're going to go for another video on this here. I'm Covert Radio. If you guys like this type of content, leave a comment, become a Patreon, just say hi. Okay? You guys take care. Have a good day.